Donation and mining family. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, all you awesome hashers out there? I see we got the dead one, the dead wood in first. Yo, we got Alex. What's going on, my dude? We got Rude, my man. We got Jason the Tiger Osborne coming in with the F to the A. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got Golden Wolf coming in. Kaspa's dead ASICs have arrived. Dun dun dun. What up, Crypto Bedell coming in with the FA. Doge Lord, yo! What's up, my man? What's up, everybody? As you're sliding on in, don't forget to smash that lizardy like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. You know what to do. That's right, that's right. Let me go ahead and put this back to big screen because I had to turn on OBS, so I minimize. Yeah, so I hope everybody is doing amazing this week. We're almost at the end of the week. We were getting closer to that summertime. Bitcoin has that pumpermentals. Yeah. So, I mean, of course, with Bitcoin price being up, mining is doing pretty good, actually, overall. I mean, if you really think about it. I mean, pretty much, you have to be, like, you have to live near Doge Lord to not be profitable. Because he lives in California where the government hates him and anything that he does that might be beneficial to help his life. You know, like AC. I mean, it's California. It's so expensive out there, you think twice about turning your AC on, dude. I'm just saying. In certain parts of California, you can get away with it. Other parts, it's like, oh, hell no, man, I'm moving. I've been trying to tell Doge Lord to get the hell out of there. They hate him. Hashtag truth hurts. Yeah, exactly, dude. Oh. But if you are in Doge Lord's situation where my man has horrible power rates and maybe he'd like to participate in that mining adventure, you know, that's where the Family Mine LLC comes in play, as we're just waiting for the freaking electric company to get the contracts back to us so we can sign them, get it sent back to him, and then figure out what the next step is on this process of, yeah, I just need to see what this is going to cost me and move forward. Yeah. So we are definitely getting there. He's like, hashtag family, hashtag go solar. Man, you guys would, that there no solar company would ever warranty that. Oh my god. It's like I need a request of 5 megawatts worth of solar panels. I just don't have the property to house all of that. Solar not until 2025, 270% more efficient. Yeah, right. Wait, don't tell them. Just show the electric bill. Yeah. All right. Well, as I see everybody sliding on in, certainly smash that lizardy like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dig on in, fellas. Yo. So, we'll start off nice and light as we were waiting for more people to slide in. So, for all you gaming enthusiasts out there, this doesn't really help for the mining aspect of it, guys. I know it is Windows driver updates. If you guys have had any kind of like anomalies while you've been doing stuff, because like it didn't complete, this last driver helped a lot for my PC, but not quite all the way. And remember, I got a 3080 Ti. This is an LHR card, yada yada yada, right? So this card is like certain driver updates, and I get pretty wonky on how my computer is just like the image quality is not there, or it starts flickering, or stuff hangs up as it's like trying to pull the image up. It just like takes a little longer to pull it all up. So So there was known issues toggling in the HDR on and off in games causes games to be unstable. I did notice that if I toggled it on and turned it back off, I had to turn the game off and reboot it and relaunch the game, not the computer. Monitor may briefly flicker when waking from display sleep. No, I find that it will flicker every so often. No rhyme or reason. It's better than from the last driver. The last driver, man, it was like I would open something up and launch it, and as it would launch, you'd watch all the icons on my computer just kind of flash. Alex is like, yep, having that. Yeah, exactly. So, since I've updated it, I haven't seen any of my icons flicker at all, and that's really the only thing that I've been really seeing. It's like either like images take a little bit longer for that initial boot up, and then after that it's fine, or just flickering of the icons. Outside of that. Performances, I haven't really seen too much issues outside of if I turn HDR on and then I'm like, oh man, that looks like poop. Turn it back off, and the game just starts like stuttering, or you actually watch the audio and the visual, especially on like cutscenes, just not matching up. It's really kind of I notice it in the Hogwarts Legacy game, guys, just to be honest with that. That's where I actually see it, is in Hogwarts Legacy. So, had to roll back. He's like, the 3090 FE, it's so annoying. All the icons, screen 2, they teleport. Oh, I've heard that every so often. I'm thankful that I don't have that issue. Mine just kind of flicker. It's just like you'll see all the icons go white. Whoop. It's like you better know what you were clicking on. Whoop. So I've been kind of muscling through it and kind of checking out the drivers, making sure these drivers don't play with the new miners. Because that's another thing too, is like as you start updating drivers, at what point in time do they completely change a call out for something to the point where the miner no longer can communicate with your GPU properly? So there's always that. I've updated drivers and couldn't launch the miner afterwards. It's like, roll it back. They are a whole lot better now for sure. I haven't had that issue in a long time, but you know, it happens every so often. So if you guys have been playing Watch Dogs 2, you might start seeing like artifacting of the sky, basically flickering. You'll see DPC latency observed in latency mon. So I mean, like when you start like looking at it and putting it underneath the knife, you can start seeing some issues with it. Applying GeForce Experience freestyle filters causes games to crash. And the GeForce Experience might be just applying the wrong overclocks and stuff like that. I mean, it could be something stupid and trivial with that. I don't like the GeForce Experience just because it's not always optimized. It's putting the safe overclock on it versus me playing around with it, fiddling with it, and then launching it. I've actually had it where GeForce Experience would put an overclock on it and certain aspects of the game would not work properly. One of them actually being Dirt 4. You can overclock the snot out of it to actually launch the game. And then as soon as you go to try to launch one of the racetracks, it won't launch. It'll just sit there in the hang up loading screen because the game is going to put its own optimizations for your card, and you are already outside of the realm with your overclock on there. So I've had issues with GeForce Experience. I no longer use it because of it. It is like a garbage thing, in my opinion. Of course, in my opinion. So applying the GeForce Experience, I just kind of stay away from that. Contacts also will be the high definition audio drivers, a new physics system software, GeForce Experience update, new CUDA update, and then of course it's going to have the new ray tracing and all that other enhancements and the support for the 4070. So like I said, I updated this and has been running a little bit smoother now. I stress tested it a little bit before I went live here. That's some of the stuff that why it took me a little bit longer to actually go live. Was I was sitting there trying to just launch a whole bunch of stuff at the same time and see how my computer reacted visually. And so far so good. Knock on wood. Around this computer, I knock on wood all the time. I don't know if it's an installation problem off of Windows that I fight, or if it's just the hardware itself. But I've never had this issue with my computer up until I went to this damn LHR card. It's like, in some small aspects, I regret having this 3080 Ti in here. And I feel bad because usually I like the 80 class GPUs. They're usually pretty baller, but NVIDIA decided to do something funky with it, and my card does not respond properly. And I don't know if that's ray tracing behind it and being on Windows 10. I have no clue. But good God. Like, there are times where I'm just fighting either hardware or software with this thing. It's never been the CPU. I mean, I got a Threadripper in there. Never had a problem with that. The only thing I changed was the GPU. Just a small aspect. Yep. And, of course, we got VLC now supports the video super resolution that is just being launched out. So it's taking in the new way for the Generation 3 for ray tracing and how it's doing its rendering architecture in it now, which is pretty nice. The technology is cool, but to me, it's just not worth jumping into it right off the bat. If it comes onto the used market for the right price, I might be interested. But I'm not going to sit there and, go all the way over to that side at this point. The value proposition just ain't there for me. But this can be utilized on the 4090 because it's got the brute force behind it. A little bit onto the 3080, but you are going to be suffering from that. Trying to push this new super resolution that's taking on the new AI and the for the ray tracing itself. I mean, it looks nice. Cypherpunk 2077's got it in there, that they've already added this in there. So real-time ray tracing makes everything look really sharp. You got to have the AI on, everything kind of tilted up. You want to have a 4090 for this, of course. And once you turn everything up on there and enable all the features for the 40 class, you start bringing back your frame rate. But if you do this and you're on a 30 class, you will watch your frame rate drop down into it's playable, I guess. In some instances, you'll be below 30 frames per second. To me, that you are basically getting console quality video at a high dollar price. So I don't know if that's just the way that they're enabling the real-time ray tracing, that they don't have a way to distinguish second gen and to third gen to be able to utilize it. I don't know if it can be utilized on both platforms effectively, because it is something that they changed up with the third generation on the ray tracing architecture. What up, Tom? What's going on? It'll be really interesting to sit there and actually at some point grab one of these cards on the secondhand market, of course, and be able to test out with this. But until that point, all I can do is just kind of look into it, see what other people are doing, and kind of give my, kind of guesstimate where I think it'll do for mining wise. And of course, stuff like this doesn't have anything to do with mining, but is good for gaming wise. So, I mean, if you guys are gamers like myself, interesting stuff that I wish that they could enable some of the aspects of the real-time ray tracing like that for the 30 class, so that my GPU can take advantage of some of that that architecture styling. But have to see. What up, Integra guy? What's up? What's up? And the RX 6800 16 gigabyte is under $500. Yo, I mean, with tax on there, of course, it's gonna go over. Let's be real here. It's going over. So, knowing that this thing is going to be going over on the, just on a tax wise, depending on where you're at, that's actually not a bad buy. I paid more for my 6800 XT, but I did it during more of the, the GPU craze era. So you'd be able to sit there and actually, if you're looking for a good build that has a good price and good performance, and basically it's going to outperform a 4070. You're not going to get the ray tracing aspect behind it. So, I mean, if you're willing to take a lower class GPU and the only thing you're giving up is the ray tracing, I find that a win. I still think of my 6800 XT was a good investment. Why? It's basically it's paying for itself. It's working, and I have no issues with it still to this day. So a $470 GPU. We are starting to get back into pricing that makes sense to build a PC, period, right? I mean, at $1,000 for a GPU, your most expensive purchase is the GPU. It's like it used to be, you'd be able to make a baller gaming PC for $1,000. Minus the monitor, you had a baller PC. Now it's like you're almost at $5,000-$6,000 to be able to have a baller PC to be able to game with. I mean, we're no EA sport gaming sports people here, but still, I mean, if you take pride in your PC like myself, I mean, my PC, that's a $5,000 PC right there. Water blocked, Threadripper line up on there. I mean, if I add up, I mean, not the price of what you can build it today, but the amount of money that I've spent over time to actually to build this PC, I'm at that $5,000 marker on this PC. If not more. No. Because of the GPU in there, that's a little over $6,000 on this PC so far that I've spent. And I'm still on the same motherboard. Everything else has been upgraded except the motherboard and the power supply. I got a 1200 watt power supply. How much more power do you need? That's why I'm not doing a 90 class in a 3090 or any of the. Well, let's be real. That 3090, that's a Titan. So I'm gonna refer it as always the Titan class. That's a Titan class GPU. I don't have that in here. It's like, can you play Crysis on it? I don't know. I would imagine that these newer GPUs should be able to play the original Crysis engine without any issue. Where they had their problems were on the 1080s and the 1080 Ti's. It was absolutely taking them out. And so that's why can you play Crysis on it, because it was a GPU killer. I would think that these newer GPUs with the faster RAM on it can handle it. It would probably get your GPU hot, just to be honest about it. But pretty much anything else, it should be able to play it. I mean, at this point in time, it should be able to play Crysis. One would hope. I don't want to test it though. But if any of you guys want to test it, let me know. I spent $2,000 on that GPU. I'm not testing it like that. Ugh. So let's go ahead and get into today's topic. Topic of the day. Now, we all know about the FPGA that came out. That the what was it? The K10 FPGA miner. I don't know exactly which K10 chip. The K10 chip lineup is pretty broad. I forget the actual chip name. Mikkel would know it because FPGAs are more his wheelhouse. But this not being an FPGA, the big thing is it legit? Is Ice River actually legitly selling ASICs for Kaspa, right? Is this real? Do any of you guys think this is real at all? I'd like to know your guys' thoughts too. Drop it in the chat. So, I mean, the only way you can contact them is through an email. You got email, Telegram, Discord, Twitter. There's no tech support. There's no address of any sort to be able to see if this is legit, right? It's like I always sit there and look into this stuff, right? This is how I sit there and go, yeah, I'm gonna say red flag. This just seems sketchy, right? I mean, and that's just my opinion, of course. We all know that. My opinion. That's all it is. I'm just a boob tuber. Don't believe me? Always verify. But, you know, it's like they want USD transfers or crypto. No credit cards. Why no credit cards, bro? Because you'd have to be a legitimate company in order to take credit card payments. Which that would also mean there would have to be an address and a legitimate name behind it. We don't have that here, guys. We do not have that here. Now, in the crypto space, do I care if I'd see that or not, right? Because I believe Bitmain is also like that too. Let me take a look here. Let's see here. But in your terms of sale here. Like whenever I was dealing with Bitmain a few years ago, I was always paying in Bitcoin, Litecoin or Ethereum. Hold on here, I might have just breezed over it. Alright, yeah, they don't show it. Maybe if I make it look like I'm ordering something, I have no clue. Alright, so if I was to buy this now, what would be my payments on this? Oh man, I don't want to log in. Alright, well I don't want to log in on that. Yeah. but I know like they do bank transfers also. So I mean, that's like whenever I see, hey, what kind of form of payment, USD transfers or payments on crypto payments online in the crypto space, I'm not really worried about this, right? They utilize DHL. Oh my God, I would love that, right? Because if they're shipping in from out of the country, then I don't have to worry about the import tax. So that is awesome. Makes my life a whole lot easier. I like that aspect. They accept purchases from all countries or regions except mainland China. So it's like this isn't in a Chinese in mainland China. So okay. So they can't do business there. They've already been flagged to not be able to do business there. That's what that tells me. They're not allowed to be doing business out there. Now there's a red flag. I know it, I will agree with you to a point. You see, my networking of skills of sorts is pretty good. I have a pretty good networking skills. So. Yo, what up, Fudweiser? So, getting back to this ice river, right? Another small little red flag here. Again, these are red flags. I'm not sitting there saying that this is a real or it's a scam, right? Here it is, right? On their own website here. Sales start on March 14th and end on March 31st. Shipping on April Fool's Day. Shipping on April Fool's Day. They could be. It's like if that was like a legit thing, you know, and I mean it's just like a red flag. Are they not updating their website at all? They're gonna leave something that. That basically shows that that they're being shipped out. Stuff doesn't. It's like they're just not updating the stuff the way that I would expect them to, right? After that, you look at the website. It looks pretty good. This is like a copy paste thing that you can see from other companies, right? And remember that I say it like that from other companies. Now, I would have to re-ask the couple of people and see what company it was before. There was another company that was that was going to be selling Kaspa ASICs, and they basically made a kickstart and then disappeared. And now we got this, and it looks like the same miner. He's like, oh, okay, maybe I spoke too soon. Debunk away, sir. So there was another company here that was selling a similar looking device. And they took investors' money and they boogied guys. Now we have Ice River, right? You go onto the forums on here. I mean, we know this is Reddit. This is where people go and complain. I get it. We all know that. But we're looking at an actual, people wondering the same thing, and other people going, man, this looks too good to be true. It's like if it's too good to be true, sometimes that's like that red flag also. That K10 FPGA miner, yes, I can follow it and go, yes. Through, like I said, through some of the ASIC people that I know in the community that are harder into the ASIC, like, I mean, you're talking hardcore FPGA, I mean, ASIC people. They do run FPGAs and ASICs. And you're looking at these people not knowing where this is coming from. And Ice River tries to act like they are, you know, this well-known company that is, you know, been like sitting there and doing all of this stuff. It's orientated for mining. And then you can sit there and you go onto these pools and look at that. This wallet looks like it has an Ice River miner on here. But the problem that I see here with this, now this is me. Oop, I didn't have the button pressed. Sorry guys, but yo, look at this. We got these workers. It says Ice River on it. 1, 2, and 3. This guy's got 3 of them. Oh my god. And you look at the hash rate and you're like, oh my god, it's 1 terahash. Plus or minus 5%. At most, you're going to be looking at an extra gigahash worth of hash rate. This is a 24-hour period, people. We are now looking at them having over 12,000, 1.2 terahash, right? This one's 1.3. A little earlier today, this was at 1.4 for a 24-hour period. Those averages are too high for it to be even plus or minus 10%. And that's where I usually see it with the ASICs. It's plus or minus about 10%. If you're at that 10% side, you're using more power. Period. These things are supposed to be like some like performance-minded things, right? So let's read more onto this stuff, right? Oh, it's sold out. Cool. Okay, so plus or minus 10%. I thought it was at 5%. Sorry, 10%. That's an extra 100 gigahash. 110 at tops. We're way over that, guys. So the math doesn't add up already. 600 watts at that point. I understand that ASICs are going to be more efficient. That's what we're going to be looking for, right? So if I were to take that, let's say we're at the higher end on this. Let's say we're at 1.1 terahash, right? So let's say 600 watts, and let's say plus 10% here. So we're at 660 watts. We're at 0.6 of a watt per gigahash. That is more like your closest FPGA is about 24 watts ish per gigahash, and that's doing good. Don't get me wrong, guys. That is doing amazing. So that is some crazy. That is like Bitmain efficiency on an ASIC. Somebody in the ASIC world would know all about this coming out. This would be like there'd be a couple of people going, shh, if you wanted to grab a couple of these, let me know. This is what I can get them for. All right. You perked my interest. And this would actually like $15,900. You'd have that back in like 2 months at the current rate of mining on this thing. That's how badly this thing would slaughter. You'd be like 2 months, paid for, bing. What up, Automatic Beats? What up? So, we have some crazy efficiency, and none of my ASIC buddies even know about this? red flag. I'm just saying, red flag. You're talking about Bitmain quality of ASIC. If another company could do this, Bitmain needs to have direct competition. But as of right now, the only direct competition they have is WhatsMiner. They're the only ones that have been as efficient for Bitcoin mining as Bitmain. And it's the reason why WhatsMiner has been able to survive this long, is because they have focused in on efficiency. And I utilize them. They're efficient. They have a little bit of a better temp threshold on them. We'll say it like that. So, I mean, and I would love to see this, but again, I've seen another company that was selling this a while back. I'd have to talk to a couple of people and have them remind me who it was that was selling these before, and they look damn near the same. Here's the 2 terahash one. This one would pay you back in a month. 30 grand in a month. I mean, this would just dominate. We wouldn't see this little hiccup in the freaking hash rate. I mean, I understand that there was times where ASICs will come into play and they only are in China. They never come out of China in any way, shape, or form. I get it. It just doesn't seem like this would be one of them. I mean, this just doesn't seem like one of them. I would love to know where they're getting these chips from. What fab, it's like the only fab that I can think of that could do that would be TSMC. They would have had to have put minimum an order in 6 months ago to get it now. And I mean, I just don't see how this is even real. I don't know anybody who's got one of these in any way. I mean, if you've got one of these Ice River ASICs, let me know. Get a hold of me in Discord. Links down below. I would love to chit chat with you, and actually see this thing, see it working, all that stuff. Good God, proof of hash, dude. And nobody's been able to do that. The closest that we get is this. Somebody labeled that, and it could be several ASIC, several GPUs, several FPGAs to get that hash rate up. But the hash rate is too high for what it is, even at a plus 10%. Sorry, but 1.3 terahash is more than 10%. Over a 24-hour period, you will see the average hash rate on this thing. It'll be plus or minus 10%. That's typical. You're not going to see plus or minus 20 to 30%. This person got a little overzealous with their hash rate. And you can see it in their overall hash rate on the rigs, too. And again, I could sit there and name everything in my farm, Ice River, and have it all mined to one spot, and you'll only see one miner, and I can name it whatever I want. So, I'm not sure if these are legit. I mean, again, we're speculating. It's just red flag. I mean, if you're looking at the 24-hour hash rate, right? You're a few hundred gigahash over your threshold in a 24-hour period. Now, are these overclockable? Could that be the explanation on it? Does this person have it in immersion mining, and he's getting the extra benefits of having immersion? Don't know. Do not know. Because it's like there's nobody that can confirm these things at all. But as of right now, nobody can also buy them. So it's like now it's even more speculation, because if you think that a big batch came out, we'll see that hash rate rise more than what we've seen in certain pools. I mean, could a small batch of these been made? Sure. In the past, I've seen 200 ASIC batches getting made. I've seen them. There are, they're able to do the test batch, but that was as far as they got with their production, or it was just a private batch for themselves. I've seen all that stuff before with Bitcoin, so it's not like it's unheard of. But to not see anybody being with one of these ASICs in hand, it's just a red flag. And then whenever you sit there, you would think that also, this is me, if I sit there and I have a company, I should be able to Google it. I should be able to pull up information on this, right? It's kind of funny that whenever I do that, it brings me to this. So this is a Crunchbase, so a reliable source for businesses, right? So Ice River Sustainable Solutions. I looked up Ice River ASIC, guys. I did not look up Ice River Sustainable Solutions. I put Ice River Mining and just had it as a straight Google search instead of looking for iceriver.io, which brings me directly to the website. So it brings me up to a water company. That's what Ice River is. They're a water company. It does, and I had also looked at this too, is where is Ice River ASIC located? And that's whenever it pulls up everything that's directly related to Ice River Sustainable Solutions. Almost like, iceriver.io, which is down here, is not your top search on this. But, it is searchable. It does come up. So, in some aspects, this looks 100% legit, and they just failed to, basically do one thing, which is keep making sure their website here is up to date. That could be it. I mean, you can play devil's advocate on there and be like, oh, they're not going to update anything unless they've got more miners to sell. And and we've got the proof over here that they exist, and this could be overclocked 100%. So it's like you sit there and you kind of go, I guess it's not so much a provable, hey, this is 100% a scam, but it's got enough red flags to make you go, that's, I think, where this category is going to be. There was another company selling a product very similar that ghosted. We have this coming out now, and still nobody I know in the ASIC world knows anything about this. I don't know anybody that's making ASICs for this, for Kaspa. Nobody's putting in the time and effort into it. People are just now making good bit streams for them. But you can only mine to a singular pool with them, which that pool is skimming off the top. So I have doubts that this is a legit item just because my ASIC people don't know anything about it, and that would be somebody that can basically produce ASIC architecture at the same level as Bitmain. I would love to see that. But I don't know who was doing it. And there ain't nobody buzzing about it. So I would sit there and, myself, I question it. I question the validity of it. I don't trust it until there's proof of these things actually being in the wild more than just, oh, look at the hash rate and look what I named it. Anybody can name a rig. You know, you could have 1 terahash worth of hash rate, and you can call it Ice River 1. And as you know, as long as it's sitting behind 1 terahash, right at 1 terahash over a 24-hour period, nobody's going to question you. Not unless you can sit there and show or pick. Then it's like, oh wow, this guy's got one, fancy. May I make a suggestion? Certainly, Vincent Gallo, certainly. Ask or make your suggestion. But I mean, this is just my thoughts on things. It could be right, it could be wrong, because there's not a whole, it's like there's not a full 100% dead set evidence one way or another. It goes into that category of there's enough red flags to make me question everything. Enough. So, yeah, Vincent, if you have any suggestions, suggest away, my dude. Oh, here we go. Why are miners just sitting there? The chain is not theirs. The chain is ours. If we want to be able to mine it with GPU, why not demand exactly that? All right. So, that also, in my opinion, as much as I want to say, yes, you're right. The chain is ours, us miners, we're the maintainer of the chain. We're the maintainer for the security for the chain. But it also depends on rules of engagement that the developers set forth from the start. Am I mad at Ethereum for going proof of stake? No. Why? They always said that was the direction that they wanted to go. Fine. They did not. They were using the miners as a necessary evil to get their blockchain going, is the way they looked at it. Okay. A lot of people know that. That they were trying to push to go to proof of stake for a while. They finally did it. Can't be mad at them. It's not like they changed that aspect of the ruling engagement. The only thing you can be mad about it with Ethereum was them changing the payout structure at the very end just to screw over the miners, which did nothing for the users. That I have an issue with. But as far as Kaspa welcomes FPGAs and ASICs. They welcome it. Why? Sounds stupid, but there's more security in that. You can have less hardware securing the network at a much higher rate of security. The more hash rate you can put on there to get that difficulty to jack up as high as you could possibly get it, the more secure it is, the harder it is to brute force. It's a trade-off. There are only so many GPUs in the world. Yes, we see some algorithms being able to stay true to what they were sticking out to be, which was like Monero, CPU mineable. It does good, but you're not making a absolute killing off of it either. It takes a lot of motherboards, a lot of power supplies. It is infrastructure intensive to set up for just Monero mining. So you have that aspect, right? And then you have, those that will be GPU mineable always. Ravencoin, right? Now they're onto an algorithm that doesn't favor memory, but doesn't completely favor core, and wants a lot of power. So now you got something that's infrastructure heavy plus power intensive. It's like a double whammy. I think that's an issue on the Raven side of it, is that it's so power intensive. If they can sit there and figure out how to keep the same algorithm but tone down the necessity for so much wattage that to be flowing through your GPU, it would bring up the profitability on that coin and thus bring back miners onto there, because you'd be incentivizing them to stay on there. And then there you have a big user base coming back online as they start mining. Veil, ASIC, CPU, GPU, whatever you got works. Yeah. And that's how I look at it. I mean, people need to look at it like people need to look at the hardware in a different way too, right? VGA core. It's an ASIC. Let's just be real about it. The chip in your side of your phone, that's an ASIC. You know, if you got a Android phone, you got that Snapdragon processor. You know, ASIC. My Threadripper, ASIC, right? Because if it was an FPGA, I could reprogram it to do many, many other things outside of being a PC. But it has one job and it does it really well. It's a more versatile ASIC, but it's still an ASIC at the end of the day. You use it. A lot of people utilize FPGAs a lot more than they think. If you run a cash register, that's an FPGA. You go to a vending machine, that's an FPGA. It's like communications. That's all FPGA. Your cell phone communicates through FPGAs because of their versatility to be able to switch and do things. Like at the ASIC, at this network side, there is a significant quorum for consensus. Absolutely no need for these intensive, harsh algos. Yes, other than keeping ASIC manufacturers rich. Audio equipment, FPGAs, DACs, especially audio. Hells yeah. Hells yeah. Bro, I mean, you can go back even further. CD players. You'd be able to hit shuffle on it. That's an FPGA. A really small, real primitive one, but FPGA nonetheless. So the natural progression between FPGA and ASIC, they go hand in hand. If I can sit there and make a bit stream for an FPGA, that means all other forms of chips should be able to go on there. It's just a matter of making the mining software to support it. It's like head rest on the chair, bouncing back and forth, freaking me out. Oh, yeah. I always bounce my leg. Bro. I have been like that since I was a kid, my dude. It's like, you know how many calories I'm probably burning off right now? Just remember, I'm a fat kid stuck in a skinny body, man. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm constantly moving, oh my God. So, before I get up out of here, do you guys think do you think Ice River here? In the chat, guys. Yay or nay here. Let me do this. Let's see here. Let's see here. Bam. There we go. There we go. Got the poll up there. Let me know in the poll, what do you guys think? You know, do you think this is legit? Do you think this is like, oh hell no, this is scammy as scam gets? Or are you unsure? Are you in the unknown category just because there's not enough info out there quite yet? I will let you know because I don't have a direct. I'm in the between the unknown and hell no. This is scam city. It's got enough red flags for me to not trust it. And to me, that's just as bad as being scammy. At that point, you need to prove it. You know, so Ice River, if you are legit, you need to reach out to me or one of the other bigger YouTubers out there and actually send one of these devices out for actual live testing. Otherwise, there ain't a lot of people are just going to question the validity of this and consider this a scam overall. This is a Justin Sun sponsored project. No idea. He might make an announcement. He might make an announcement for the announcement. Exactly, Vincent. That's another great point. Great point. If there's a 6-month plus lead time. Back then, Kaspa market cap was nowhere. Who would ever build this? Why? It's got to monetarily incentivize the people to manufacture something like this. You're talking Bitmain quality ASIC. That's how I look at it. That's Bitmain status. Who's doing that for a coin that, yeah. Like either they have somebody bankrolling on the backside, fitting the bill, getting this going, and it went to a small little group of people that were initial investors, and that's it. Or this is Scam City. So we got 5 people voting. There's 13 awesome people here. Guys, frickin', what do you guys think? Do you think this is a scam city? Do you think this is legit? Or are you on the unknown camp? Come on, there's only 5 of you guys voting. There's 13 of you awesome people sitting here watching. And I appreciate every last one of you guys. Certainly smash that Lizardy like button. Subscribe, hit the bell notification, especially if you made it this far, guys. Yo! Be part of the conversation, fellas. It's like, I love getting everybody involved in the conversation. I think it's better. You know, it's like, because we get a good open conversation, and hey, I'm not perfect. If I get something wrong, like DM me in the Discords and drop a link there. Be like, hey, I think you got it wrong. This is the information that I'm running off of. And share that knowledge. And I'll be like, oh, I'll stand corrected. I'll be a son of a... I was wrong. Rude counts for 2 viewers. He should. I mean, he's just that awesome. Redneck 101. I'll tell you what. You know, whipper slapper car. Uncle's asleep. Wow, we are undecided. We got 50-50 right now. Half of you are like, this is a scam. The other half of you are like, there's not enough info. Which is fine. I see the viewpoint of the unknown. I do. And I've presented it to a point where it really does express the unknown. Until we can see one of these devices, somebody actually hashing on one of these. And it's not like doctored footage. I mean, that's another problem. AI development, guys. If they come out with a video, you're going to have to kind of question it still. We got AI, like AI deep fakes. It's like, can you trust a video going forward? This is going to be some messed up stuff coming into the future where you're going to have to, like, you'll watch a video and then you'll have to go over to another program and you'll have to have that program watch your video and see if it can detect it being a fake. Ain't that messed up? Or you sit there and you start watching it, and as you're watching it, it just flashes AI generated video footage. It's like, oh no! We got 8 votes. We got people going, oh, hell no, this is a scam city. It's like, screw you guys, I'm on the other side. That's a good one, too. Even if they send it to reviewers, they may never deliver, like Squirrel. I mean, I'm still out of an FPGA from Squirrel. Squirrel went bankrupt, declared bankruptcy instead of releasing their last product out. So they stole everybody's funds, the community's funds, to build these things, and then a big giant purchaser came in, purchased all of them, and then they just declared bankruptcy instead of trying to make more, because they basically signed a contract with them stating that they would not be producing anymore, that these FPGAs were exclusively theirs. Yep. It forced them out of business. And you can thank one of the Ethereum community members by the name of GPU Hoarder. No, I'm not salty at all. Nah, man, I'm just out, almost $4,000. It's nothing, right? So, we'll go ahead, and it looks like the oh hell no's are definitely winning out here, guys. So go ahead and end that poll, guys. Thank you for participating in that, guys. Yo, you guys rock. So the majority of you guys seem to be in the this is a scam category. I'm like on the fence between the two myself. I want to say I'm leaning more harder towards Scam City. I'll just put my 2 cents in there like that. I lean more towards scam than I do towards the unknown. There's just too many red flags, in my opinion. So, for any of you guys that are watching this after the live stream and you get this far, thank you for being here too. If you've got any opinions on this, certainly drop it in the comments down below, guys. That's for all the people that are not watching live. So, I'd love to, if you're watching this after the video goes live, I'd love to get all of your guys' opinion on that too. Be a part of the conversation. And to anybody that's here live, you can always sit there and drop a comment in there, or ask a question down in, if you think of something later on. I answer all of my stuff. Otherwise, you can hit me up in the Discords. If you're new here, the links to the Discords are down below. Same thing with the Patreon link. And if you guys would love to have your rigs hosted at the Family Mine, have me and my home dog, Crypto Mikkel, be hosting your stuff in a nice, clean, professional environment. Certainly get into the Patreon, get into the pseudo hasher tier, get your VIP access to the facility. I'd love to have all of you there. With all that being said, certainly smash that Lizardy like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff, guys. You all rock. You're the reason why I do this each and every day. So peace out, stay savage, and may your watts be low and your hash be high. I'll see you on the next one.